hell, right? I ain't trying to be professional. This is a straight raw YouTube video. All right, here we go. Real quick. I'm gonna try and cut it down to about 3, 4 minutes. Just watched a bunch of vids on this Pacquiao Muhammad Ali comparison. Blah 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 blah. How about this? How about we start talking about some other fighters? So we can quit hyping up the same two bum fighting tomato can I can beat up, I might fight, might not fight ass dudes. Let's quit hyping these dudes up. Let's start talking about some other fighters, some real fighters. Let's start talking about Tim Bradley and Amir Khan. Um, how about Andre Ward, dude who about to wipe out like 94% of his division and could possibly be like PFP #1 soon. You know what I'm saying? Like if he can get through this tournament and beat Butte, how could he not be PFP 1? You know, um, or let's say I don't know the bantamweight tournament. You know what I'm saying? We got the top 4 bantamweights going at it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna come out on top of that. Why one of them ain't in the top 10? You know, we got Big Bad Bob putting together another garbage fight with Cotto and Mayorga. You know, how in the hell Mayorga ain't fought in 4 years, probably 3 years. Last time we seen him, he was getting knocked out by Shane Mosley, who just got dominated by Floyd and had a raggedy draw with Sergio Mora. And now he's getting ready to fight Cotto. Like that fight gonna mean something. And they got the nerve to put it on pay-per-view. Let's start talking about some other guys. How about what about Sergio Martinez? I haven't seen many videos on Sergio Martinez. This guy moved up from junior middle, went up to middleweight, beat the middleweight champ, who beat the middleweight champ, who beat the middleweight champ. Then he beat knocked Paul Williams completely the fuck out. I mean, that was one of the most exciting knockouts. That was definitely knockout of 2010. How about let's talk about him and the fact that he's having a tough time finding an opponent right now. Let's forget about these other two guys, the guys who's fighting bums and the other guy who is not fighting at all. And let's talk about these guys who are fighting, who's trying to get fights, who's trying to find fights. Let's talk about these guys, for the real fight fans. Let's talk about these guys and what they doing. Because they the ones who deserve to be talked about, you know. How a dude who fighting once a year should get talked about. And it baffles me that this dude is in everybody's top 10, you know what I'm saying? And I peeped out a video from Blitz that said that, like, how can, like a guy who's fighting, like 3 times in 4 years be in the top 10, you know? Or in pound for pound, 1 or 2, you know? I mean, or matter of fact, the video that stated that one's ability or the potential of ability does not catapult you to being the best, you know? There's a lot of guys that have potential, you know? Think about all the #1 picks in the NFL that were bust. They were picked #1 because they had potential. You have to actually do it, make it happen to be considered an all-time great. These guys not doing it. How about cruiserweight division? Um, the Klitschko's. Fights don't get a lot of publicity, but they just keep winning. They fighting whoever come up, whoever who is the contender, who's ever coming up. Whoever got like a little name, a little thing going. You know what I'm saying? That's they beat them easily. You know, like I said, stated Andre Ward. Like heavyweight, B Hop. You know what I'm saying? How about Javarius Cloud? Why is nobody mentioning him for a potential opponent in the light heavyweight division with Dawson and Pascal and Hopkins and those likes. Let's talk about the guys who fighting, who really want to make it happen, who really want to try and do some things. You know what I'm saying? Who not just trying to take our $65 for a pay-per-view. Let's talk about these guys.